Imagine a time when communities thrived under the wisdom of women, when families were organized around mothers and ancestral heritage passed through the female line. These societies flourished not under rulers, but through the guidance of mothers, grandmothers, and sisters, a matrilineal way of life. In ancient societies, the feminine was seen as sacred. Goddesses represented the mystery of life, the cycles of birth, death, and rebirth. The earth itself was honored as mother, nourishing all. Communities like those of the early Minoans, the Celts, indigenous tribes, and even the pre-dynastic Egyptians held deep reverence for the feminine. These early societies weren't just matrilineal. They were built around a philosophy that valued cooperation, care, and connection to nature. Women, particularly mothers, were the core of the community, their knowledge of healing and nature respected, and their role in family structure central. Leadership was rooted in care for the community, not control over it. But as centuries passed, profound changes swept through the world. Shifts in agriculture led to land ownership, giving rise to inheritance and the need to secure lineage. Conquest, war, and the expansion of empires required strict hierarchies and control. This paved the way for patriarchal systems, ones that valued dominance over harmony and control over connection. Slowly, the stories changed. Male gods began to replace goddesses and myths. New laws were written, replacing men as heads of households. The feminine, once revered, was increasingly pushed into the shadows. Women's voices, once central in their communities, were suppressed. The knowledge of the earth, once seen as a gift, was now seen as something to be exploited. But the spirit of the feminine could not be erased. Throughout history, women resisted, revolted, and kept the knowledge alive. They preserved it in secret, in stories, in rituals, passing down their wisdom to daughters and granddaughters. The reverence for the cycles, the power of the feminine, continued to burn as an ember, waiting to be rekindled. Today we stand at a turning point, as more people awaken to the wisdom of the past. There is a renewed interest in matrilineal and matriarchal ways of being. We're seeing a resurgence in goddess spirituality, a reclaiming of feminine knowledge, and a rising movement that recognizes the need to bring balance back to our societies. This movement is not just about empowering women, it's about redefining power itself. True power doesn't seek to dominate, it seeks to nurture, to protect, and to bring people together. In matrilineal communities, lineage is through the mother, but the spirit is one of inclusion. Fathers, brothers, sons all find their place within the circle. By rediscovering our roots in matrilineal culture, we can begin to shift the narrative. Imagine a society where lineage passes through the mother, where families are structured around kinship, and where leadership is rooted in wisdom, empathy, and care for the collective. To reclaim matrilineal values is to honor our collective history and create a world that values every voice. It's about embracing the strength that comes from unity, celebrating the wisdom of the feminine, and building a society that thrives not on competition, but on compassion. Together, we can create a new narrative, one that reflects the sacred balance of all things. Let us remember that balance is not a relic of the past, but a promise of the future. By returning to the roots of matrilineal wisdom, we can create a new era of harmony, resilience, and unity for all.